We appreciate everyone being here, including our media, members of our community, to show their gratitude to our troops. You know, I was going to say as we send them home back to their families and other responsibilities, but it sounds like they're going to another training mission. So it just shows the dedication that you guys have, and we appreciate that. We're going to have a few speakers today, but before we get to that, I want to just mention a few people that are here to show their support. They're not speaking, but they're here to show their support again, is Chief Taylor. I just saw him over here. He's with the Montecito Fire District. Scott McGulpin, our Public Works Director. Julie Hagan, one of our Deputy Directors in Public Works as well. Sharon Byrne with the Montecito Association. I'll talk a little bit about your group's efforts in a little bit. Curtis Skeen, he will be speaking, but I want to mention you. And then members of the media. It helps to have you guys here as we could get the message out to how much these guys did for us. So I'll kick this off. Again, I'm Walter Rubalcaba with the County Flood Control District, and we're here today to say thank you to our servicemen and women of the Guard for the tremendous work that you guys did. There was a total of 1,500 truckloads, or approximately 1,500 truckloads, or 15,000 cubic yards of materials that got this basin back to empty. And what that did is helping to protect the community and the networks of roadways down below, and we're extremely appreciative of that. This work began at 3 p.m. on January 12th, and we're standing here today approximately 11 days later, and this work is complete. There's nothing short of amazement for me that this was done. When I spoke to your leadership when this first began, they didn't think it would get finished. We weren't sure if it could get done that quickly because we knew you had your mission coming up. But here it is, it's complete, and congratulations for that. You know, the Colonel shared with me the other day that a lot of you joined the Guard to serve on missions like this. And we're grateful for that. And to Colonel, Lieutenant Colonel Lipscomb of the 185th Task Force, Captain Brown of the 649th Engineering Company soldiers, not only did you support your community, but you went above and beyond and provided an element of professionalism that left us all grateful that it was your team that was selected to be here. We also want to thank our community for their support for the 24/7 operation. We know it's very impactful to the community. They also brought snacks and food, and we appreciate that. The Miramar, and I know it's coordinated with Supervisor Williams for being so generous and again helping feed our troops. The Montecito Association and the library, Sharon, we appreciate it so much for allowing the soldiers to use your space to help support these operations. Chief Taylor, the Montecito Fire District, I had some special requests that came from the Guard, and he delivered next day. What do you need? Tell me where and when, and he was here, and I appreciate that. Our water resources and flood control staff and all of Public Works, some of them are here today. You guys helped support this mission 11 days straight, 24/7, and we simply could not have done it if you guys weren't ready to work. And we asked a lot, and you guys delivered, no complaints, and we're grateful for that. Cal OES for approving this mission. Without the mission, it wouldn't have happened. Scott McGulpin, our director, for all your behind-the-scenes work to make this happen. And again, Supervisor Williams, for your continued support. And I've already said this to him personally, but he went above and beyond to really show his gratitude. He's one of our supervisors. He didn't just check the box, they're here, my work's done. He really went out of his way to do everything he can to show gratitude to you guys, and I really appreciate that. So with that, I will pass it over to Supervisor Williams.
Well, on behalf of the constituents of Montecito and Carpinteria, I want to thank you for being here and for the incredible work that you've done. I want to remind you that it's not just the work for the people who live this part of the watershed that it benefits. Your work here made sure we could deploy the county contractors and county flood control personnel to concentrate them on Cold Springs, Montecito Basin, and Santa Monica Basin, which is our biggest one to the south. So that means that you benefited two communities, Montecito and Carpinteria, by helping to make sure that we had enough people on the job to make this kind of progress. And I just want to thank you on behalf of those people. It's about 30,000 people that live in that area. They all are benefiting in their safety from your work. I also want to just say, from my perspective, I know that this is the other side of California from where you're based. We know that it's a long ways. It's time away from other activities. It's probably a lot farther from your families, and it's 24/7 work. You guys kept on rolling, man. And just so you know, some of the funny there was a funny backstory to this, right? There's always some funny backstories, right? We heard I think late Wednesday night that you might be, or Wednesday evening-ish, that you might be coming. We didn't know if you'd come on Thursday or Wednesday. This was over a week and a half ago, and so my staff contacted me at about 5 o'clock or so on that. They're like, can you find a place to stay for like 100 people? I'm like, when? They go, well, some of them might come tonight. Now you didn't end up coming that night, but I was furiously calling every hotel owner I knew after hours to try to find a place for you guys. And the funny thing was, if any of you had arrived early, you would have been in a $500 or more hotel room. But you guys came on Thursday instead. So I hope the food was a good consolation, because they wanted to actually give you a room on Wednesday night. We know this time and this work is not easy. I came and visited 2 other times while you were at it. I mean, within a day, you had cleared the channel, which is one of the most, potentially dangerous things to have, is not have a channel. So you got off to a furious start, and it just is enormously impressive to me. Loved and appreciated by the community. I'm sure any of you that were hanging out over by the library probably got talked to by folks all over Facebook and social media. People were talking about your work. And so on behalf of this community, on behalf of the county, on behalf of Montecito, and on behalf of Carpinteria as well, because they benefited indirectly, I thank you for your work. We appreciate it. And if you ever come back, you will be welcomed with open arms once more. You should feel proud of what you've accomplished, and it helps us make sure that our community will be safe if there's another storm in the next month. Thank you so much. Oh, am I supposed to? So the next speaker is Curtis Skeen. He's the guy who's this debris basin was his idea, and he came to the county, and we said, yeah, that's a good idea. But he got the community behind it, and someone with real vision, and he was out of town when the governor came and visited, so he wanted to give you his own thanks on behalf of the community. Curtis?
Thank you, Doss, and thank you to each and every one of you from my heart and the heart of everybody who lives in this community for what you have done today. As Doss said, we were the Spark, our nonprofit Partners in Community Renewal, and sometimes the boot behind this project. When you look at it, you might not realize that the debris that this basin now catches would have otherwise likely been down in the 101 freeway. It would have closed that freeway as it did 5 years ago for a couple of weeks, maybe this time not quite as much. But the cost of that to the state of California, to our local community, to Santa Barbara City, the county, is huge. The fact that you were willing to take your time away from your families speaks to what's best in humanity. And you have all shown us that here with your work. And we thank you from our heart.
Thank you, Curtis. The next person I'd like to call up is Lieutenant Colonel Lipscomb. Just want to say that he's one of your guys' leaders, but for the community, ultimate professional, also Captain Brown. They were continuously in contact with us, sending us text messages, let us know at 6 in the morning, 6 at night, what the status was. Anything we asked for, they delivered. So, Lieutenant Colonel.
Thank you, Walter. First, I want to especially thank the troops, okay? We cannot make it happen without you guys' dedication, your work ethic. It is so the volume of who you are and whose National Guard is, okay? I cannot say how proud I am to stand in front of you today and call you a commander. And I'm like, you guys kicking butt out here. I'm so proud of it. Community, thank you very much for supporting us. We cannot do our job out here without the support from the community. Scott, your team, Walter, your team, you guys are great. Deliver everything we ask for. Basically, every time we ask, we text you at 10 o'clock at night, in the mornings happen. So we will thank you for everything you do. Sharon, thanks for letting us use your library to be our place for our guys to work, to do all the logistics support. So our guys out here do all the work, but a lot of the logistics support to all the channel. From my staff at the library, our brigade headquarters out in Fairfield, our staff at JFHQ, always to Cal OES. Everybody supporting us because all logistics stuff behind the scene that to make this stuff happen so our Joes out here can do their job. And I'll thank each and every one of you for get that delivered and then get it done for us. All right.
I was going to start by thanking the community for being a great customer while we went through and removed 15,000 cubic yards of debris from your debris basin here. From Santa Barbara County Flood Control to the county personnel themselves, members of the community, the fire department, whenever we had an ask, there was a prompt delivery of some sort of support that related to that ask. So thank you to every single one of you that's here, and to the folks that even aren't here. It's greatly appreciated. You made a hard job a little bit easier, and we appreciated that greatly. For all of us in the unit, I'll acknowledge that we've got augmentees as well. So in addition to the 5 MP Battalion and our own Organic 649 Engineer Company, we've also got the 1401st Engineer Detachment. Many thanks to you guys for augmenting us. And I think we also had personnel from the 270th and the 870th MP companies, mechanics and things like that, that augmented us as well. So thank you for joining us on this. I often tell all of our folks that all this work is in the training side. This is where it pays you dividends. So whether it's here or overseas environment, you guys have performed at the absolute top of the Cal Guard's ability to perform and support the community in terms of engineering tasks. And if you're not already aware, you've done an incredible job. And I just want to give you guys a round of applause for your incredible performance over the last couple weeks. I'll be followed by Walter.
Cool. So I'll go ahead and close it up. Again, thank you to the Guard, the community, the media, everyone who helped support this operation. We definitely wish you guys safe travels on the way home. I wish you guys were going back to your families or your responsibility, but it sounds like you guys are going to another training mission. And thank you for everything you guys do. And again, one more round of applause, please.